It wasn't marked urgent, it was marked irreversible. 3 months ago, a classified German federal procurement memo crossed the desks of NATO planners in Brussels. No press conference, no ribbon cutting, no media coverage. But it wasn't just paperwork, it was a warning coded in bureaucracy, and it confirmed what only a handful of insiders already suspected. Germany is not building a weapon, it's building a tech empire. This isn't a return to tanks and trenches. This is Germany re-architecting power from first principles. The word power matters. No speeches, no slogans, just system after system, coming online. Let's kill the myth right now. Germany isn't rearming. That term is dead. That is Cold War vocabulary. That is tanks and flags and parades. What is actually happening is something far more dangerous. Germany is designing a stacked technological dominance system, quietly, systematically, from the inside out. Since 2018, Berlin has diverted defense spending away from classic platforms and into something far more future-proof. AI command layers, autonomous manufacturing, energy independence under wartime collapse, cyber-physical fusion networks. This is not science fiction. This is already operational. One German defense planner said it plainly at a private security forum in Switzerland. The Americans build weapons. We are building the system that decides which weapons matter. That comment never made it to the press, but it made it to NATO threat models, and it changed everything. At the center of this empire is something you have never heard of. Not Rheinmetall, not Airbus Defense. Those are the visible surfaces. The real power lives deeper, in something known internally as Strukturkreis Null. Structure circles zero. It is not a company. It is not a military agency. It is a coordination layer. A silent consortium made up of engineers from Siemens Advanced Projects, AI, architects from Fraunhofer's Black Labs, ex-Bundeswehr cyber officers now operating as civilian consultants. They do not report up the chain, they synchronize sideways. This matters because sideways coordination bypasses politics. It bypasses red tape. It builds momentum in the shadows. Germany has become exceptionally good at moving in the shadows. So what does Strukturkreis Null do? It identifies systemic choke points in warfare and industrial conflict. Then it assigns rapid parallel teams to eliminate reliance on foreign support, especially from the US. These are the problems they treat as inevitable, not hypothetical. Microelectronics bottlenecks, energy collapse under cyber attack, autonomous logistics under GPS degradation, command systems operating without cloud or satellite sync. Every simulation they run has a line that appears again and again. US support arrives late, if at all. You think this sounds like pre-war planning? That is because it is. Now let's talk about energy, because this is where Germany's strategy becomes unmistakably real. You saw the headlines during the energy crisis, but you didn't see what came next. Behind closed doors. Publicly, Germany vowed to rebuild its energy grid. Privately, it vowed to never again let energy fragility control military tempo. Since 2021, Germany has poured classified funds into distributed micro-reactor systems, hydrogen energy buffers, non-grid-based energy loops, but not for cities, for bases, data centers, and military factories. These are facilities that cannot go dark. An EU Council brief put it in one chilling phrase: operational sovereignty under continental isolation. Operational sovereignty. That is not a backup plan. That is a continental dominance strategy. But energy is just the foundation. Above that, manufacturing. While the US chases budget hearings and offshore labor, Germany is building something else: autonomous lights-out weapons factories. No operators, no lights. Just machines building machines in total silence. No operators. A leaked Siemens deck described these factories as resilient under kinetic and cyber pressure. Resilient. Translated: bomb them, hack them, jam them. They keep producing. This is not automation. This is self-healing industrial warfare. Germany's goal is simple: remove human labor from the equation entirely. Human labor. Because in long conflict, human labor is the first casualty. First casualty. So now we reach the point no one is talking about. While Washington debates procurement cycles, and while think tanks write papers, Germany is already running closed-loop warfare pipelines. Design, then simulate, then manufacture, then deploy, then analyze, then redesign. All inside sovereign systems. No reliance, no permissions, no press, just execution. And that's not even the deepest layer, because the real shift in power, it is not weapons, it is command simulation. Germany is not building weapons, it is building command certainty. By now, the pattern should be unmistakable. Germany's empire is not defined by missiles or air bases. It is defined by decision velocity. Who moves first? Who adapts fastest? Who recovers under chaos? And once a nation owns that, firepower becomes irrelevant. Inside German military circles, there is a phrase that has never appeared in public doctrine. Not once. Vorentscheidung, pre-decision. The belief that outcomes are decided before shots are fired. Germany has structured its emerging tech empire around that singular assumption. And at the center is a classified command system known only to a few insiders as Kernraum, the core space. This is not predictive analytics. This is not chatbots. This is military-grade AI fused with civilian infrastructure modeling and cyber warfare automation. It does not issue orders. It removes uncertainty. Kernraum ingests live feeds from transport networks, energy grids, financial markets, civilian communications, military operations. Then it runs thousands of real-time simulations, not forecasts, dominance windows, moments where Germany can act with precision before the enemy even knows they are vulnerable. A leaked Franco-German task force memo described Kernraum like this: the system does not predict what the enemy will do. It predicts which enemy options survive contact with reality. Read that again. This is not about knowing your opponent. It is about removing their choices. That is not analysis. That is preemptive control. So how deep does Kernraum go? It is not isolated to defense. It is plugged into Germany itself. Rail traffic, port logistics, power distribution, telecom latency. Why? Because in modern conflict, civilian motion is military motion. A former US liaison officer warned behind closed doors. They have blurred the lines so thoroughly that attacking their military systems means attacking Germany itself. That is not a deterrent. That is a digital shield. Let us talk escalation. In the US, escalation is handled by policymakers and press briefings. In Germany, it is engineered away. Bundeswehr simulations leaked in 2024 show war games built around partial grid collapse, satellite jamming, disinformation overload, media-induced panic. Yet in every scenario, command continuity remains intact because Germany has mastered a rare doctrine: decentralized execution, centralized intent. That is what lets Kernraum operate under stress the way others collapse. It is not just robust, it is anti-fragile. And this is where the internal NATO fracture begins. France was the first to notice, not in public, but in private strategic memos. They called Germany's AI command integration strategically asymmetric. Translation: Germany can operate within NATO while remaining completely operationally independent. That's not partnership, that's leverage. Because when Germany shows up to the alliance table, it no longer needs the table. Then came the turning point, the moment NATO didn't notice. 2022. A moment analysts now call the silent collapse window. Multiple US defense programs stalled. Budget delays, procurement fights, legacy platform overhauls. Germany accelerated. Internal German documents from that period include a phrase that should haunt every strategist. Strategic quiet favors the prepared. They didn't just build silently, they exploited inertia. Now, let us shift to autonomous warfare. No, not just drones, not flashy technology, swarm doctrine. Air swarms, ground swarms, cyber swarms. Each swarm is expendable as a unit, but irreplaceable as a system. It is emergent behavior. AI units adapting after every engagement. No remote control, no approval loops, no humans slowing it down. Learning under fire. A Rheinmetall adjacent lab demonstrated this for NATO observers. They were allowed to watch. They were not allowed to record. That is how serious it is. If you are thinking this crosses ethical lines, Germany has already answered that, privately. They frame autonomy not as escalation, but as conflict shortening. Decide faster, overwhelm earlier, end it before it spreads. Cold logic, very German. But here is the line that brings it all together. Germany does not believe the next war will be won by whoever has the biggest arsenal. They believe it will be won by whoever collapses coordination first. And coordination? That is exactly what Germany has spent a decade perfecting. So what comes next? Not just who wins the war, but who decides what happens after. And it is the most unsettling part. Nachordnung, post-order. By the time wars end, most power is already gone. Factories are broken, currencies shaken, command chains exhausted. But in Germany, the end of war is just the beginning. Because Germany has not only planned for how to fight, it has planned for what comes after everyone else fails. They call it Nachordnung, post-order. This is not a doctrine. This is not a NATO white paper. This is an operating system for collapse recovery. Nachordnung is the final layer of the German tech empire, and it is designed not for survival, but for dominance after disruption. It does not matter who fired first. It does not matter who lost more. What matters is who rebuilds first. And Germany has spent 10 years engineering that answer. A leaked European Central Bank resilience study revealed something strange. Germany's post-crisis models did not just show stability, they showed acceleration. Germany exhibits anomalous post-crisis acceleration characteristics. Translation: while everyone else scrambles to reboot, Germany expands. Because its systems are not just durable, they are designed to self-restart. Autonomous factories, self-routing energy systems, AI-driven labor reallocation, pre-coded economic rebound protocols. This is not emergency response. This is pre-written dominance. But here is the deeper move. Germany does not just want to rebuild itself, it wants to define the standards of recovery. Because in a fragmented post-crisis world, whoever sets the protocols controls the allegiance. Think about that. Germany becomes the one rerouting trade, rebooting supply chains, offering digital frameworks other countries must adopt. That is not occupation. That is quiet empire. And it does not stop at infrastructure. Germany has also built strategic perception environments. Buried under the surface of this empire are cyber warfare bunkers. Yes, actual physical locations, shielded, hardened, redundant, built to withstand sustained cyber assault while executing counter-operations in real time. These bunkers do not just defend networks, they shape reality, financial confidence, political stability, supply chain trust. This is not hacking. This is systemic narrative control under fire. So why hasn't the United States responded? Because here is the brilliance. Germany hasn't broken any treaties. It hasn't violated NATO rules. It hasn't triggered any alarms. It's all defensive on paper. Dominant in practice. No tanks rolling. No alliances threatened. Just quiet preparation. System after system coming online. In early 2025, a draft NATO futures memo circulated behind closed doors. It ended with one question. If strategic autonomy succeeds, who leads? No answer followed, because everyone in the room already knew. Germany isn't asking permission. It is not building consensus. It is building inevitability. And when the next collapse comes, economic, cyber, military, or all at once, it will not be about which nation stood tallest in war. It will be about which one stood up first afterward. Germany intends to be that nation, not through violence, through infrastructure, not through force, through execution, and not through headlines, but through systems no one can vote out, sanction, or stop. The future order will not be hostile. It will be decided without us. This file remains open. Subscribe for classified drops.